Welcome back to Cryptos Are Us. I'm George. We're all George. So, welcome to another market open stream. Today, things are off to the races and it's looking good. And there are some big news I gotta cover and why these moves will definitely help Bitcoin and crypto. So, let's talk about everything that's happening today. And that's it. Let's do it. Let's do it, guys. Welcome. We are starting out the day around 98,000. So slowly we are moving back up and up and up and up. Bitcoin is leading the way today. Alts kind of coming up. Okay, we're seeing Sui up 4%, Solana up 4%, ADA up 3%, so a little bit. So it's good. The last 2 days, we saw Wall Street open, Bitcoin go down a little bit, and then recovered. Let's see today if we see anything different. The U.S. market is opening up in the red. NASDAQ, not so much, Dow a little bit more. Wall Street shares drop as retailer says profit growth will slow. Basically, right now, everyone is basically forecasting that the economy will slow down. Okay, the economy is not getting any stronger at this point. The economy needs a boost, which is why everyone wants Fed Chair Powell to continue to keep cutting the Fed fund rate. So it will, inject or infuse some money into the economy to help retailers, help businesses, and help everyone else in between. So that is why, right? But the economy isn't crashing. It's just slowing down. Okay. But Fed Chair Powell can't do that because inflation is going up. And there's a lot of worries about inflation going up even more because of all the tariffs. Now, Trump has different ideas, though. Trump thinks that, hey, as a country, we can collect money from different sources that can make up for a variety of things, right? If we're going to collect tariffs, well, maybe we can get rid of other things. So, number one, a lot of the Doge investigations have turned up a lot of funds that are misappropriated and misused. So there's thoughts about, hey, giving back 20% to the Americans, right? So that's number one. So that's good. Now, part of that, I don't know if it has to do with because he feels like, just good, good publicity, or because, it's a distraction from all the tariffs, or because he feels like this is just a good move overall, right? And 80%, of course, is going back to America to make up for, to put down on the deficit, right? Overall, all this is to try to decrease government spending and to cut that $36 trillion deficit that we have. So, but so far, what's found is a drop in a bucket, not even a drop, less than a drop in a bucket. It's like a few, I don't know, tens of millions compared to trillions at this point. But there's a lot more coming. There are definitely a lot more investigations coming. Including this one right here. So Elon recently audited the IRS. We don't know the results, but according to New York Times, 6,000 IRS employees will be fired tomorrow. Actually, this was reported yesterday, so they will be fired today. This will save some money. This will save the government some money. That's a lot of employees to be firing. I don't know what they found, But they must have found a lot of IRS agents not doing a whole lot. I don't know. It's just happening. It's just happening. And something else that's happening, and I don't know how realistic this is, but the new Commerce Secretary, Howard Lutnick, just did an interview where he proclaims that, hey, Trump, his master plan with all the tariffs and, you know, all the savings from Doge, the master plan is to abolish the IRS altogether. Just fire them all. That will decrease spending, and you know, and then all of us will have a lot more money because we don't have to worry about income tax. We don't have to worry about capital gains tax. We really don't have to worry about any tax. Well, other than state taxes. Some of us have state taxes, but some of us don't even have state tax. Basically, there are no income taxes of any kind then, if that's the case. Wow. That would be fantasy world. But maybe it'll happen. I don't know. So that's one benefit from having a whole bunch of tariffs and collecting a whole bunch of money, if it can make up for it. I don't know. We that's a lot of money to supplement if we do get rid of the IRS. That's a lot of money that we need to supplement. Or collect, I should say, from the tariffs. Anyways, how this all relates to crypto, I'm not quite sure. But what I am sure of is Trump, he did make his promise that he will make crypto great in the US. And some of these moves, you know, may not seem like they're crypto related, okay? And they're not. But a lot of these moves are getting people very excited about being American, about being a crypto company in America. And a lot of the appointees, right, like Howard Lutnick, who is the Commerce Secretary, for example, okay, someone that has really, you know, shouldn't have anything to do with crypto, but he is, because he's the one in charge of the tariffs and income generation and supplementing the IRS if it gets abolished. This guy loaded up on billions and billions of dollars of worth of crypto before he was appointed. So that tells you something, right? You go by his actions, not by his words. If he loaded up on MicroStrategy, Bitcoin ETFs, and Bitcoin itself by the billions before he got appointed, what do you think? Right? What do you think? And something else that Trump has done that has helped crypto already is, first of all, he caused Gary Gensler to resign. And second of all, his new acting chair is already making moves. Look at this. This is breaking news. This just came out not too long ago. So the SEC voluntarily dismissed its own appeal over a case where it was trying to have jurisdiction over decentralized crypto protocols, which made no sense in the first place. But this is the type of stuff that Gary was trying to do. Okay, so because of the new acting chair, SEC is changing, saying, hey, we have no jurisdiction over decentralized protocols. So, you know, back in the day, we were worried about wallet makers being attacked and implementing KYC. That pretty much goes away, right? What about DEXs? You know, that pretty much goes away. Like the cases against Uniswap and others probably will go away. Unless there's really foul play that they could detect, right? But overall, if it's a DEX and it's operated by smart contracts and there's no central authority that's making any moves on it, how can you attack them, right? How can you prosecute them? So this is big too. So things are moving. Things are moving in a good way for Bitcoin and crypto right now. But there's a lot of things that's happening in the U.S. A lot of things happening. Whether all this amounts, all the things that Trump is doing is going to fix the system, don't know. But you know what? The way I've always said it, the way to opt out of shenanigans, the way to opt out of fiat, the way to opt out of our financial system is to opt into Bitcoin. And I think all of you guys know that, or maybe some of you guys know that, okay? Because every single government around the world, every single central bank around the world, they are led by humans, and humans are inherently greedy and irresponsible and power hungry, and eventually they make the wrong moves. And that's why all fiats fail. That's why there's always infinite inflation, and that's why your hard-earned money basically disappears over time, because every single government and every single central bank around the world occurs debt, and it's never ending, and then it's a vicious cycle of printing money and accruing debt, printing money, accruing debt, and inflation goes down forever, and your hard-earned money dissipates to zero. Okay, that's why you want to have Bitcoin. All right. After all that, what else is there? A lot of good stuff, of course. There's always a lot of good stuff. Companies that have started, obviously, loading up on Bitcoin in their treasury have seen a major boost to their stock price or to just their PR or whatever. And there's more that are going to come in for sure, like GameStop, for example. And there's someone else that's called Good Food. I don't even know who they are. But there are so many that are looking to come in. They understand, or they're looking for that good PR, or they're looking for that stock, looking for Wall Street or whatever to buy their stock, right? Stock appreciation. Whatever the reason, more and more companies are going to start doing so. And think about it. The FASB rule in America is being changed, so the accounting rules for public trade companies become a lot better for companies to hold Bitcoin, okay? And if the IRS is going to become a lot more favorable, or they disappear altogether and you don't have to worry about filing crypto taxes, that's even better. That's awesome. Yeah. So, Metaplanet is another one. Now, they own 0.01% of the total supply. That seems like it's a small amount, but who wouldn't love to hold 0.01 supply? That's 2,100 Bitcoin. That's a lot. And they have plans to up that to 21,000 Bitcoin within the next few years. Okay, so it goes to show you little amounts at a time adds up to a lot. When they first started adding, people were saying, that's small amount. But now look at that. 2,100 Bitcoin is no joke, and soon 21,000 Bitcoin will be no joke, right? Not everyone could be like Sailor and buy 200,000 Bitcoin within a single quarter, right? But hey, these add up, and there's more and more that are doing so. And then states are going to start adding. Montana is another one that's getting approval. You just have more and more and more. More and more and more that are coming in. So CZ sums it up really well. Okay, are you going to buy Bitcoin before or after the government is done buying? You decide, okay? You either decide that you're buying ahead of time and you go ride the wave up as the government buys, or you go buy after the government's done, and at that point, the price is going to be insanely high, much higher than it is now. So you decide. Obviously, the smart move is loading up now and not waiting for later. And the last thing I'll say about Bitcoin is this. You know, according to fractals, you know, we're looking good. If we're going by fractal patterns, we're mimicking a pattern that we saw just last year, almost identically. And if we're going to follow it, you know, the next step is going to be a tremendous upwards move. We're building towards it. Last night, I talked about how Bitfinex longs at 5+1 billion, more than 5 billion. Binance is starting to buy back what they sold. Okay, that's not a coincidence. So things are happening behind the scenes. We could be seeing that next leg up. Binance may know something, or maybe they're causing things to happen. Get ready. This next leg up is going to bring us to another level. And we may stay there for months. We may stay there for like 6 months after we make that next level. But that next level is going to be glorious. All right. What else is there? Let's see. Speaking of Trump, World Liberty Financial, not his company, but a company that sort of he's involved with, okay? They decided to buy some SAY. They've been only buying ETH and ETH-based DeFi projects, but all of a sudden they bought some SAY. A Cosmos-based L1, I've talked about them in the past, out of the blue, and SAY today is going up because of it. Interesting move. So they may be buying more. And speaking of L1s, a lot of people are fearful about Solana. Solana obviously has fallen down a lot recently because of all the bad meme stuff with Argentina's president, with Dave Portnoy. I don't even know what happened with them. And then also some people are fearing that, you know, there's a big unlock happening, 2 billion worth of Solana that could be unlocked, that could be sold. 2 billion out of 90 billion, honestly, isn't that much, but still, in a weak market, it could move, right? But that doesn't mean that people are going to sell. But you know what? When you look at the fundamentals, okay, people only concentrate on price. When you look at the fundamentals, that's when you realize Solana is so far ahead of everyone, it's not even funny. It's not even close. This is looking at metrics over the last 7 days. You look at BNB, Tron, Ethereum, and Bitcoin for active addresses, transactions, and even fees collected. And keep in mind, Solana fees are infinitely cheaper than Ethereum, okay? Then it still collected double amount of fees, despite being like 1/100th cheaper than Ethereum. Look at the addresses, 31 million versus 2 million for Ethereum. You could take the top 4 chains, the next 4 chains, add them together, it still is nowhere close to the active address on Solana. You look at the overall transactions, you add them all together, it's nowhere close to Solana itself, right? So it goes to show you how dominant Solana is as a chain now, right? Despite all the FUD, despite all the shenanigans, they are a huge dominant chain. That's why I am very bullish on them, and I do think they will come back. But of course, there's a lot of FUD right now. Just like when FTX collapsed and we saw Solana fall down to $8. People were very fearful that they were going to die and go to zero. Well, guess what? They didn't, and they recovered in a big way. But yeah, this is just, man, this is mind-boggling how far ahead Solana is versus everyone else. Anyways, that's pretty much it. All right, let's see. Strike is back up today. MicroStrategy is up a little bit. Robinhood taking a big fall. GME about even. Coinbase about even. So I don't know why MicroStrategy's up, but Coinbase is down. And Bitcoin still holding a little bit under 98,000. Let's see. As long as it holds, it doesn't drop like yesterday, it just continues forward, we're looking good. All right. Let's do some Q&A. Iggy says, watching from Canada with pure jealousy. Well, tell Trudeau that you want to become the 51st state. Let's see. I thought Trudeau resigned. I thought he resigned. How come he's still the acting prime minister? Does it take a while before a new prime minister come in? I know it's like the leader of the party or something, but when does that kick in? I don't know. I don't know how the government works in Canada. Or did he like remove his resignation? Yes, they have a leadership struggle right now. No one knows how the government works in Canada. Yeah. He shut down Parliament until they have a new Liberal leader. He's stalling, holding Canada hostage as we all want a new leader. Can he do that? It's like it would be like the US president shutting down Congress. Shouldn't Parliament be separate? Like the prime minister shouldn't have power to shut down Parliament? I just don't know enough. I don't know enough. That's how crooked it is. Yeah, that doesn't that doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound right at all. Why can't Canada change its laws, man? Whoever the next prime minister is change the law. Can't add Sonic to Trust Wallet. What network? What, did they not support it? I had Phantom before on Trust Wallet. I don't know if they didn't add it. Lazaro, you're gonna have to do some research. I don't know if Trust Wallet didn't support a new conversion. I'm not quite sure, but I'm pretty sure they will. I don't know why. Maybe it just takes some time. Well, you know, yesterday we did the same thing. Okay, in case you guys are wondering, yesterday when Wall Street opened, we did the same thing like this, right? And then, boom, we started coming back up. So right now it's actually better than yesterday. Yesterday morning when we opened up, this is what it did. It did this. We went up. Then the Fed minutes came out. We did this, and then we recovered back up. So yesterday morning we did this, but we still recovered. Right now, you know, we did a little bit of this, but it's still holding relatively well. Let's see. And we're still higher than yesterday, so there's not bad. Michael, I'm back. Been trapping to buy the dip. What does been trapping mean? MicroStrategy turned red. Yeah, the market is, you at Wall Street selling off a little bit. That's why. Alchemete, $1 super chat. Appreciate it. Guys, calm down with your dumping rhetoric, man. We're at 97,000. We're not dumping, okay? Stop trying to scare other people. I'll leave this up. AJ, when do you think this cycle will end? Well, if we're following history, then somewhere around November, December. But I do think we can keep going. I do think there's a chance we could have a super cycle. And I think a lot of people hear that term and think, oh, that means we'll never go down again. No, it just means we skip crypto winter. We'll still have corrections. We'll still have consolidation points. We'll still have a lot of market manipulation. But, you know, I just don't see us doing the same 80% correction over 2.5 years. I think we could skip that because there's just too much. There's too much institutions in the game now. Yes to Crypto says, we're only up 40% from when Trump got elected. Some people think that's a dump, I guess. That's exactly right. You know, to be nice, some people came in, I don't know, in December at peak. Some people bought, you know, when we were above 100. Some people bought at the very top, you know, and they're just not used to volatility because they think they could make $1 million instantly from crypto and their memes. And that's just not how things work. Thoughts on mint layer? I don't know. I don't know about mint layer. I don't know about mint layer. 3.2 million. I'm sorry, I'm not even gonna look at it. It's way too small cap. Look at this. People asking about Pi. It's down 44%. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Pi mainnet launched today after 6 years. You mean yesterday? And then it's down 44%. It can't be down 44% if it launched today. It probably launched yesterday. Overall, this is very similar to this. This is even better than this. When we were going through this period, I was arguing, hey, we aren't dipping. We're just going sideways, right? Because look at this. When we first hit in February, this was a year ago, almost exactly a year ago, February 28th, all the way to here, October 11th, despite the fact we had all this, we essentially just went sideways. Okay, for what, 8 months, 7 months? But it looked like we were in a downward trend. But you look at it, we were just going sideways for 8 months. It happened. We got through it. So now we're doing the same thing, but it's only been a few months. Now I know that some alts have gotten weaker, but some alts have also gotten a lot stronger than last year. I even drew out this giant cup and handle for you guys when we're doing this. People were getting discouraged. They're like, no, we'll never break out of this handle. No, it's not happening until we did. I think strike. Strike is solid. Yesterday was the first day I saw it go down since its debut. But yeah, you see, it went down a little bit. But man, it's just constantly going up. I think Strike is going to be a good hold. And plus, if you could get that 8%, it's even better. Where does a strike yield come from? That's a good question. I was wondering that myself. I don't know. Sailor is getting from somewhere. I don't know where he gets the yield from, honestly. Is he selling off some Bitcoin to pay the yield? I don't actually know. I have no idea. Or some of the raise that he's been doing, he puts a bucket of it for the yield. Yeah. George, are you tired of telling people to relax? Some days I'm okay. But when everyone's bearish, then yes. Like this guy right here, writing in caps. Check his okay, he's been saying the same thing in all my videos. So he's out of here. All right, guys. Let's keep it nice and short today, since there's not that much to talk about. This is interesting. This is very interesting. I don't know how realistic this is, but man, if this happens, it'll be wild. But again, whether this works or not, whether inflation starts skyrocketing, whether the Fed can save us, you don't have to take a chance by staying with fiat and hoping it all works. You can simply opt into Bitcoin and know that it will work. You just have to have patience, not fall for the FUD, not fall for distractions, continue to HODL and DCA, and it's the winning formula. All right, guys. Smash the like, subscribe to the channel. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time. And we'll see what else happens between now and then. It's been pretty crazy every day. We see a lot of volatile movements up and down. Let's see if we see the same thing today, or we see a recovery and we keep going back up. We touched upon 98,000 just not too long ago. Can we recover back up and maybe break even higher? Let's see. Let's see. All right. Have a good one, guys. Take care.